Another great place to learn about Comanche history is Old Fort Parker near Groesbeck, Texas. This is where Cynthia Ann Parker met her destiny. In Texas, the Comanche were in constant conflict with the Spanish and raided their settlements with impunity. Yet, starting in the 1820s, they would meet their greatest rival, American Texans. The Parker clan was one of thousands of American families to come to Texas. John Parker brought his family, including his granddaughter, Cynthia Ann Parker, into the Comancheria, building a fortified settlement near the Navasota River. In May of 1836, the Comanche, along with their Kiowa allies, would attack Fort Parker with force, massacring most of the men and capturing 9-year-old Cynthia Ann. She would live the next 24 years as a Comanche, fully assimilating herself into the tribe. Comanche raids would continue after Texas won its independence. After a disastrous peace conference gone wrong at the Council House in San Antonio, which saw 35 Comanche killed of the 27 captured by the Texans, the Comanche responded in 1840 by raiding deep into Texas with as many as 500 warriors. Sacking the town of Linville near the Texas coast, the Comanche escaped with goods worth an estimated $300,000 before finally being defeated on their way home by Texas Rangers at the Battle of Plum Creek. After Texas joined the United States, the U.S. Army built a series of frontier forts to dissuade the Comanche, but raiding continued. At the same time, Cynthia Ann Parker's son, Quanah Parker, became an important chief and noted warrior. After Cynthia Ann was recaptured by Texas Rangers in 1860, Quanah swore revenge on the Texans, ferociously raiding during the Civil War and after. Yet the greatest existential threat to the Comanche way of life wasn't the Texas Rangers, U.S. Army, or rival tribes, but the buffalo hunters. By 1870, commercial hunters stalked the Great Plains, killing buffalo for their hides. Used for machine belts and clothing, the hides can make the hunters rich, while at the same time destroying the Comanche and other Plains tribes' way of life. In an attempt to counter this threat, Quanah Parker led a large attack on a group of hunters holed up at the Adobe Walls trading post in the Texas Panhandle. The hunters, armed with long-range Sharps hunting rifles, held off the Comanche attacks, and this proved to be a true turning point in the history of the Plains. Unchecked, the hunters brought the buffalo to the edge of extinction over the next 2 decades. In 1874, the U.S. Army launched a full-scale assault on the remaining Comanche to force them to their reservations in the Indian Territory, where several Comanche bands had already surrendered. The ensuing Red River War would see Quanah Parker and his band of Comanche chased into the Palo Duro Canyon, where their massive horse herd was slaughtered by the Army. Quanah Parker, knowing the end was near, traveled to Fort Sill in the Indian Territory and surrendered. The Lord of the Plains may have been defeated in battle, but their culture would live on. Today, the Comanche are estimated to have a population of just under 30,000 members. Comanche warriors now serve the United States, including a small group famously serving as code talkers during World War II. So visit Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and Old Fort Parker in Texas, and learn about the Comanche and their history and culture. These are some of the best places in America.